Hi everyone, I'm Jack the Rambling Raconteur here with book 10 in Homer's Odyssey, and this is a great one. I had reread this book a couple of years ago when I was reading Circe by Madeline Miller, a novel. I did enjoy it. I thought there were some interesting ideas in there. And so this is one I had reread, and there's a lot that happens in this book. This is one of those books that even folks who have never read the full Odyssey are familiar with at least part of this, because of course we get Circe. But we start with Aeolus and the fascinating idea that there's almost a little parallel, I think, to Pandora's box, the way that Odysseus receives the bag that has all of the different winds that could create a nightmarish journey for him, but the west wind is going to push him home, and they can almost see it. And he's been like just working so hard, he hasn't slept at all to just get that last journey home. And then there's an argument about what's the treasure Odysseus has in the bag. He's always been getting treasure, and they open it up and it's just a disaster. And you can imagine the boat just zigzagging. And I think that's one of those ones where it would be interesting if the poet was actually like playing an instrument while singing this epic. That's one that I feel musically something really interesting could happen in that passage. So it was just a thought. But we get another encounter with an island where the people are just literally eating the crew of Odysseus and throwing huge rocks at them, and they seem to be gigantic. And it's a great contrast to the violent depredations that Odysseus and his crew had perpetrated, not just during the Trojan War, but even on their journey home. We've heard about that. Here we see them receive that violence and how they react to it. But finally we get the big piece, which is they land on Circe's island, and half of them go up. Famously, they eat, and they're then let in, and she works her magic as a god. And it's interesting to see that she's regarded in some passages as a god, and others that she's specifically magical. She's doing magic, and that's something that I think other writers have had a field day with. But the relationship between Odysseus and Circe is interesting. Hermes acts as a guide to Odysseus and helps him sort of escape this. But as much as Circe is cast as this villain who magics the crew of Odysseus into pigs, or who could turn enchant other beasts into serving her, there does seem to be this way in which she helps Odysseus and then warns him and tells him, you're going to have to go down to hell. That will be our journey tomorrow in the next book, and another fantastic chapter of the Odyssey. But the relationship between Odysseus and Circe is interesting. We see again a lot of weeping, not just from Odysseus, but from this whole crew. But it's a very emotional book. There's a lot going on here, a lot to unpack. I think it's inspired a lot of writers. So hope everyone's doing well. Thank you.